Okay, this is a reaction video. This is from Dina and Phil. This is hotel rooms in Germany. This is my favorite theme. I'm going to do a lot of, I've done a lot of German videos. I'll probably do a lot more. Please, like I said, please click like, share, and subscribe for them. Like, share, and subscribe for Scott Dover's Interesting World. Hotel rooms in Germany. Now, when I got to Germany, we stayed at the Meridian in Frankfurt, and when we went inside it was in America. The hotel rooms are a little bit more spacious than they are in Germany, but I still enjoyed the German hotel room that I stayed in. But let's take a look at this.
Come in. So in this video we're going to show you what you would typically find in a hotel room in Germany.
Yeah, that looks exactly not too different from the hotel room that I stayed in, only the size of the room, TV. There was another room where the beds were. The beds were facing the other direction, but that's not too dissimilar to what it looked like.
Obviously, this is going to depend on the hotel and region of Germany you're staying in. However, a lot of these things that we're going to talk about are typical and one might say standard to a German hotel experience.
Right, first, one of the most important things, we're going to start with the bed. Time for bed. So one thing that is very common with the beds here is that you get two blankets. Not one big blanket, but two separate blankets. I think that is very essential to a good night of sleep or any good type of relationship as well. Because you can't have enough blankets. Am I right, Schmo? And very importantly, if I can show you here, these are actual duvet covers. Like the blanket is in there. Not like in the US where you have this weird thin sheets and then just some weird blanket on top of it that never...
It's not always like that in the United States, okay? But when I slept in hotels, I've been in many hotels in the United States. You have a blanket, you have a cover. It's generally quite comfortable.
But gets washed. These are fully covered. You can move them around like you want. It's not going to come out. And I think that is so much nicer than these weird sheets that are in a lot of countries over the world, to be honest.
I kind of like the weird sheets, to be honest with you. But the German bed that I slept in was very, very comfortable. I have no complaints either way.
Honestly, when Phil and I first met, we were traveling around Southeast Asia, and I laughed a bit because I thought he was a little high maintenance. Everywhere we went, he always requested an extra blanket. It was a little funny at first, but I completely agree now. We need our own blankets to sleep.
Also, side sleep pillows are amazing, and the best one is just an additional blanket. Be like this.
Perfect. He has his own body
That's what the
pillow.
extra blanket is.
He and I will beg to differ on that. I prefer a pillow like that, but fair enough. And to each their own.
For.
Exactly. And we've even traveled around different areas of Europe, like Spain and Greece, and an extra blanket is not standard. They've even charged us when Phil requests an extra blanket. So it's not standard across Europe, but in Germany it seems like the norm.
It's no problem.
I would find out. I tell you what I would do. In all honesty, okay, if I wanted an extra blanket, okay, I would find out if I'm a king size or queen, whatever size bed I'm going to be sleeping in. I would pack my own. They aren't. You can fold them up into whatever you want. Put them in there. Perfect. Bring your own. Remember to take it with you.
Alright, next thing in a German hotel room is about lüften. There's a word lüften in German, which basically means air out a room. And it refers to the German windows, which we have here. Move that to the side. That's our nice courtyard view. Let's see that for the first time.
Beautiful.
German windows are usually different than the ones in the US. And in a hotel room, you can usually not open it all the way. But what you can do is you can angle it like this.
Wow. Let that air in.
And that does confuse Americans. They think it's going to fall on their head because windows don't open like that in the United States. They go one way up. But hey, to each their own. I just did a video where they were talking about this, and yeah, so it is what it is.
You get the actual fresh air in, which is very important, because in a lot of German hotel rooms, the AC also sucks.
Yeah, but I think in Germany it doesn't matter.
That's where in the United States the AC is usually working very, very good and very, very well, and you love it to death.
If it's super cold outside or if it's really hot, people just like to let some fresh air into their rooms.
Yes, it's my parents' favorite hobby.
It really is. But yeah, this isn't standard in the US. I think sometimes in US hotels you can't even open the windows. They won't let you, even though they don't open like this. It's just an up and
Yeah, in most American, if you're gonna open, well, you generally don't. You with the air conditioner. Look, my cousin's girlfriend cranks the air conditioning, at 63 degrees in the hotel room, which was, you may as well be living in an igloo at that point. But that's, everybody has their own ways of doing things. And in a hotel room, you turn the heat up as high as you want, air conditioning as high as you want. It's up to you.
Down slide.
Another thing I want to quickly mention is the minibar, and the minibar is not here. Often
And not all hotel rooms in America have mini bars either.
in newer hotel rooms, we don't have minibars anymore. I think it might have been a thing from the past. I'm not sure. Let me know.
Or expensive hotels.
Probably more
Yeah.
expensive hotels. This one, by the way, is around.
I know in Vegas they have mini bars. They tell you don't even open up the mini bar. Don't even look in it. Don't even put, buy a Coke and put it in there just to keep it cold because they will charge you for that.
50 euros per night. But what they often have is this kind of thing. You get a little kettle so you can boil water. You have 2 clean glasses, 2 coffee cups, and then you get some instant coffee, a little bit of tea, milk, sugar, some sweetener to make a little coffee.
Yeah, and it depends on where you're staying, but you have something which is not too dissimilar. They have a coffee maker. I stayed in hotel rooms which had refrigerators. I've stayed in hotel rooms that had coffee makers, that had things like that had microwave ovens, things like that. It depends on where you're staying.
Coffee, that's all there is. No minibar though.
Next thing that is very common in Germany in the bathrooms is you'll have a walk-in shower. So here we are. We have a nice shower. You can walk into it. We traveled a lot in the U.S.
Now, the shower, that's not too dissimilar from a place I stayed up in Cleveland, where you have a walk-in shower as well. Not all showers like that. Usually you're just getting into a tub, which has a shower. But there was a walk-in shower at the hotel I stayed up in Cleveland a couple of months ago. And in Germany, at the Le Méridien, the hotel that I stayed in, it was a walk-in shower, but it didn't close all the way. It was part of the shower was open. You couldn't close it all the way.
And I grew up in the U.S., and a lot of the hotels have a tub that you walk into and step into. And this can be from a 1-star to a 4-star hotel. It'll still have this tub that you step into.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority of them are like that. Okay, like tubs. But like I said, I stayed in one in Germany, up in Cleveland, which was literally walk in, and it wasn't a tub.
But in Germany, this is pretty standard for hostels and hotel rooms that you'll have the walk-in showers. Sometimes they'll be half the size, so it'll be pretty tight. You have to be a skinny mini to shower in some of them. But you'll rarely ever see a tub in Germany unless it's like these super expensive hotels that are like a tub spa thing. But honestly, I probably would never take a bath in some of the hotels in the US, so I don't mind the stand-up shower thing.
That's true. The bathtubs in these hotel rooms in the US, they are a little bit on the gross side. And
Yeah.
I want to know, has anybody ever taken a bath in an actual bathtub in one of these cheap 2-star hotels?
I generally don't take baths at all. So, but most of the places that I've ever been to, if I stayed at a cheap motel, and I very rarely do it, not because I'm loaded and make a lot of money. It's just that I very rarely get a chance to travel, and when I do, I like to spend a little bit more to get nicer accommodations. But if I ever stayed in a cheap hotel, I've never taken a bath. I'll always take a shower.
Hotel rooms, or motels even, they have the bathtubs.
Yeah. I think it definitely depends on how much the hotel costs on whether I would take a bath in it or not.
Oh yeah, if it's like $1,000 per night, 5-star.
Then I'm sleeping in the
Dubai,
bathtub.
then yeah, I'm spending all day in that bathtub. One thing I want to mention here is the shower head situation, because in Germany that's very different.
Now that's another thing that I noticed is you have the extender. That I have one upstairs in my shower. Okay, I love those things. I think they're fantastic. In most showers in the United States, you do not have those.
In the US, you always have these fixed shower heads in the hotels, but very common in Germany is this kind, like with the hose, and it's so much more flexible. You can shower normally, you can do it under there, and then down here, very important to clean that area too, and it just makes it so much easier. I think this is way better. You can get closer and whatever.
Yeah, again, most hotels don't have those. I have one, and I think it's one of the most important things to have. I could not agree more.
And this one is actually on the fancier side. It has the second one, the overhead one here.
The attached and the detachable.
Yeah, and the attached one is coming from above, like it's this waterfall shower thing. I really prefer the hose, the long hose. That's what I prefer. By the way, guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to further support us, you can do that at patreon.com/GianandPhil. And today, we want to thank our family member Patreons. So big thank you to Marcus Ottensman, Fred42, Ethan Mitchell, Heather Kaffner, Hessen Metro, Charmils, Tarek Malkosh. Video.
Alright, so elevators are not always guaranteed in Germany, and if they are, they tend to be very small and tiny. However, if you do get an elevator, you'll notice the buttons and the numbers are probably different. The ground floor is 0 or...
Yeah, in the United States, in fact, the place I work on the 3rd floor. If I want to get down to the ground floor, it's number 1. Okay? Some have G for ground, some have parking for parking garage, but yeah.
Erdgeschoss.
e.g. And then you'll notice that what we're used to as the 2nd floor is the 1st floor in Germany, and then so on.
Like you can see here, reception 0, and then the room numbers are usually according to the floor they're on.
So the floor differences are not dependent on the elevator. If you have stairs, this will be the same. So just know, if you're on the 2nd floor in Germany, that's going to be the 3rd floor in the US.
Yeah. Not all hotels have them, but most do, and now it's time to go to breakfast.
Oh, the breakfast in Germany was out of this world. It was fantastic.
Guten Morgen. So, wir trinken Kaffee. It's the morning time, and breakfast is a very important part of the German meal.
Oh yeah, they love it.
So a lot of the hotels will offer breakfast included, or they
Pretzels in Germany were fantastic. I love those.
will have it for extra, and it's heavily advertised. I feel like every time I go onto a website for a hotel or Airbnb or a bed and breakfast in Germany, they're always like, we have Frühstück. We have
Yeah.
it too. We have it all. And a lot of the typical stuff you'll see, definitely the egg. I feel like that's a must, a hard-boiled egg, and you eat it differently than I'm used to. You got a lot of bread, fresh bread.
I know there's a bread culture in Germany. People love their bread.
The thing, we have actually baked beans, which isn't very German, it's more English, but we're in Berlin, so there's a lot of international people here.
Yeah, no way in hell am I eating baked beans at breakfast.
Yeah, I actually grabbed the UK version, but another very common thing in Germany is a cereal station. But I'm not a big cereal person, Diana neither, with the milk and
Most places I stay at in the United States do have some setup like this. Not extravagant like this. I don't know where they're staying. But you can get eggs, you can get sausage, bacon, waffles, sometimes pancakes. Sometimes they have a waffle maker. You can do it that way. Orange juice, milk, water, cereal, fruit, toast, bagel, whatever you want. Most places now have that in the United States.
stuff, but cereal, half a flock and oats and milk stuff,
Yeah, that looks almost exactly like the United States, what you have there.
very common as well.
But the cereal's very normal in the US. You'll have that on most breakfast hotels.
What are you building there, Tiger?
I made a sandwich. We never eat breakfast, but if we're gonna eat breakfast, I'm getting my money's worth.
Okay, ready for the egg drop. There we go. Wow, it's not German at all.
Okay, our last point is going to be cheaper for better quality. Now, before I get into this one, I want to say it really depends on the hotel chain and where you're staying in Germany. Some of the older, more authentic.
Again, I was stayed in Frankfurt at the Le Méridien Hotel. It was great location, not too far from the Main River. It was during World Cup 2006. It was not too far from the train station. You got into a pattern. You left the hotel if you wanted to go get the morning paper. You walked out the hotel, made a right, then made another right. You stayed on the left-hand side of the stairs when you went down because you didn't want to walk on the right-hand side because that's where all the urination was from the previous night's festivities. And you walk down the stairs. You go underneath the street where the cars were going, then up, and you're into the train station. And then you can go to the newsstand and pick up the papers and things like that.
German inns and hotels can be a little dated, and they sell it as a nice authentic experience, but then you're staying in something from the 80s. However, like the more standard ones, the more modern ones, if you're comparing hotel chain to hotel chain in the US, it tends to be nicer and cheaper here.
Like this one.
This one, I don't know if we mentioned, this is 50 euros a night, and it's pretty comfortable and cheaper than a lot of the hotels we stayed in the US.
That is true. In the United States, now look, when I last year, when I guess a year and a half ago now, we went out to Montana and South Dakota and Wyoming. I think we paid, now I've seen hotel, depending on where you are, where it's 150, 220, 300, depending on where you are. But I think the most expensive place we stayed at was maybe $70, $75, maybe $80 for a night, which is relatively cheap in the United States. But that's a lot cheaper than in the United States, $50 or 50 euros for a night stay.
Yeah, I think the experience that I made in the US just confirmed that big time. There are crappy hotels, like you said, old ones here too, but when we traveled around in the US, we stayed at these 2-star motel hotels, or 1-star even, whatever, for like $80 to $150 per night. There was just nothing cheaper that you wanted to set foot in.
Yeah.
And they were crap compared to this.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, hotels expensive in the US, just traveling around and staying
Depends on where you're going and where you are. It really does. I get what he's saying. I certainly am not traveling when I go traveling. Whenever I do, like I said, I don't travel a whole lot as much as I'd like to, so I don't spend time in cheap hotels. Okay, but you can generally find a good hotel, a good 2 or 3 star hotel, and sometimes you can have them as low as $50, $60. I don't know very many hotels that he's talking about where it's a 1-star hotel and you're paying $150 a night. I'd be curious to see where that was. I wouldn't surprise me if he was in California or if he's in New York City or someplace like that. That would not surprise me. But if you're talking about going or even Chicago, if you're going like through Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, Maryland. Some of the Oklahoma, Nebraska, those places, you're not going to be spending that much for a crappy motel.
somewhere decently is unaffordable for us, and these $80 to $100 ones, that's like pretty bad.
I don't understand why hotels and motels are so expensive in the U.S. It's crazy.
Yeah, everything gets so expensive.
Again, like I said, depends on where you are. Not defending them, because I agree with you. I'm not going to pay I wouldn't want to pay $150 to stay in some flea-ridden, bag of a hotel. But yeah, depends on where you are.
Yeah.
So those were the things that you can expect from a hotel here in Germany. Let us know in the comments below if this is what you expected, or if you have been here, that is what you experienced, and how it differs to your country.
Yeah. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Okay, this was a good video. Hotel room in Germany from Dina and Phil. Please click like, share, and subscribe for them. And like, share, and subscribe for Scott Dover's Interesting World as well. You have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.